What's going on, guys? Duelim here, back here with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the essential tunes that you need for Cosmic Crucible offense and defense, who to build first, how high to take them, and the ways you're going to be able to utilize them the absolute best. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Kicking off the video, I wanted to talk about Cabal and just how insane they are. This three-piece here is absolutely nuts, and then we have incredible villains that are going to be on this list that are going to augment them, such as Kang, Titania, Doom. We have Emma, who's not making my list, but a nice plug-and-play character as well. Obviously, Super Skrull, APOC, Omega Red, some great characters. So here with the Cabal three-piece, go all in on them. These are going to be your safest build in Cosmic Crucible right now. These characters are going to last 4 or 5 seasons because of how much agency they gave us. We are going to be able to throw 2 incredible villains with them to keep them good and in the meta for a very long time. I am saving all of my diamonds for Leader and Iron Patriot. Iron Patriot would be the first one I would go for if I had to choose. As you can see, I've already put 2 diamond on Namor, and I'm going to put a 3rd diamond on him because his damage is absolutely insane and should not be underestimated. So please build your Cabal as large as you can, and this should be your #1 priority for Cosmic Crucible right now. First up, we're going to be talking about Titania, and Titania is going to go hand in hand, obviously, with Kang. Now, Titania, I think, is the only member of Masters of Evil that's not Kang that should be at level 100. I do have the other Masters of Evil members at level 95 because I do push into Masters within Cosmic Crucible, so I do need a little bit of extra oomph from the other characters. But if you're going with the bare essentials, obviously Kang is first, but Titania is also up there as well. She is not to be trifled with. She hits extremely hard. She also puts out that really awesome Disrupt ability block and slow for 2 turns on her first turn. And her special steals all the buffs. I definitely recommend taking Titania up super high. Obviously, Apocalypse, he's plug and play everywhere. There's really not much to say about it. Take up Apocalypse super high because he's used everywhere, but especially in Cosmic Crucible. He's going to be taking out your Black Knights. He's going to be taking out your Super Skrulls on defense if you don't have Cabal or needs Cabal somewhere else. Kang, we've already talked about it. Robbie's going to be one of the only members here that of the Secret Defenders other than Black Cat. I think Robbie is the best character on that team, and he's not even the legendary. His damage, especially when you get him as Striker, 3 diamond, level 100 as I do, his bleeds hit like a freight train. His passive puts out more bleeds. His Striker ISO attack hits incredibly hard too. So Robbie's an absolute no-brainer to take up as high as you see here, honestly. Next up, we're going to talk about Deathpool and New Warriors as a whole. Deathpool, I think, is the only one you really take super high up. Cloak, don't bother. Level 90, 95 is fine with him because the level 95 to 100, the resistance and focus does not change very much, and that's what Cloak relies on. As for Dagger, she's usually one who gets benched first, unfortunately, but she is nice to bring up. One other essential for Deathpool and for the New Warriors in general, Firestar, if you have a little bit of extra gold, Firestar all the way up is really nice too. I have her at 3 diamond, level 100, and I don't regret it at all. The diamond pull was random, but I don't regret that whatsoever. That is a really strong team, and Firestar is one of the pivotal parts. Deathpool being the most pivotal with her pings, and also spreading those bleeds and doing that % health damage with the special. The bigger she is, the more those bleeds do. Next up, we're going to talk about Gambit. So Gambit, obviously, on the Extreme, on the Unlimited. There's a lot of hybrids that go around with that team for 2 seasons straight now. Gambit is the linchpin of that team, honestly. I'm really debating him taking him up to gear 19 as well because of how good he is, and he only takes 2 Crimson gear pieces, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he does. So I think he's going to be useful and really good. in the long run. Other members of Unlimited, Rogue, if you're really, really wanting to push hard in Cosmic Crucible, I think I have her listed here. I actually may not. No, I do. Rogue's down here. Yeah, Rogue is pretty good as well because she's that tank of the team and gets that reflexive taunt, gives that safeguard, so she's going wherever Gambit goes. But I wouldn't go put reds on her because the DPCs are so hard to get right now. And obviously Super Scroll 7 red came out relatively recently. People getting those Black Knights up because now he's in the premium orbs. Also, we have another legendary coming soon, so you may want to save some Dark Promotion credits for that. Next up, we're going to talk about Kestrel. This season, surprisingly enough, she's relegated to defense. But normally she is one of the best plug-and-play characters. She's also a mythic, so bringing her up to G19 is a no-brainer because you're going to need her for the mythic section of Dark Dimension 7. I have her as Raider. I think Raider is the best. She is an absolute monster plug-and-play character. She's been taking out Darkholds for a good 3 seasons now. Right now I have her on defense in Pegasus, which makes that team super, super scary. But if you have her on offense because you're running something else in Room 2, she's still extremely, extremely good. Next up, we've got Kraven, and this is going to be the entire Superior 6. This is a blanket rule for Superior 6 as a whole. Take them all to level 100, Blue ISO 5, Gear 18, start getting ready for Gear 19. I'm planning on taking most of them to Gear 19 for Dark Dimension because the city section looked extremely easy, honestly. So having these subpar Dark Dimension characters is really going to benefit me in the long run for Cosmic Crucible. And again, Cosmic Crucible is the only mode I build for specifically because I don't care about war. I don't really care about anything else. Arena, obviously, by proxy, most of the teams that are good in Arena are also good in Cosmic Crucible, which is nice. And then obviously I build my raid teams as much as they need to. But Kraven, you'll see I have 3 diamonds on Kraven. That's a direct promo. I chose to do that. Lizard is a 2 diamond. I chose to do that. Spider Slayer, also a 2 diamond. I chose to do that. Doc, 2 diamond as well. And Green Goblin Classic, I'm saving my dark diamonds for him as well because I already have that 3 diamond APOC. So I am absolutely all in on this team because they're going to be good in Cosmic Crucible for at least 2 or 3 more seasons. So they're going to be pivotal to take up. Next up, we've got Icarus. Obviously, Icarus and Cersei are a great duo. Icarus and Cersei are going to continue being good because Infinity Watch is so good. Because they're a good counter to Infinity Watch, especially when you use that big-time Spider-Man, and if you're able to use Apocalypse with them. Not only that, they're good in other places as well, so if you see something like an Infestation on defense or other things that have, like Undying on defense, obviously, with the Greg to feed off of, is really nice. So Eternals are always going to be really good, and as long as Infinity Watch, the cockroaches of MSF, continue being a nuisance everywhere, Eternals are going to continue being really, really good. Next up, that Firestar that we talked about, obviously super great. Black Cat we touched on as well. The only 2 members of the Secret Defenders that really need to get brought up because those are the 2 pivotal points of the team. Next up, Spider Weaver. Spider Weaver is absolutely nuts in Cosmic Crucible. I'm actually running Spider Weaver on defense now because there's really nowhere else to put them. They are good on offense, but the thing is, nothing on defense requires a tangled web. So I'm really thinking about putting them on defense somewhere. I haven't really figured out where. I need to figure out how my defense does in week number 2, and then I'm going to realize where Spider Weaver and 2099 need to go. As for 2099, leave him at level 95. Gear 18 is fine. Weaver's the damage dealer. She gets the charges up. She's the pivotal person of that duo. Don't bother. And then Noir, we're building for the rework anyway, so he's really good too, but nothing super crazy for Cosmic Crucible. Spider Slayer we touched on. Super Scroll, no-brainer, duh. Dormammu is going to be an absolute must as well. I think Dormammu is super, super, super good. He is going to give those revives. He's an incredible support character. He's got a trauma stun on his special. He's got that charge mechanic, which flips those buffs. He's got that ult, which hits a bunch of times, and then also gives offense down, defense down slow, and heals your team, which is absolutely incredible. And it clears all negative effects from self and clear all heal block from all allies. So Dormammu is absolutely nuts. I have him as a Raider as well in room number 1, so he can clear those ability blocks, so he can't get controlled as well. And then lastly, it's going to be the extreme members here. You see Nightcrawler, Forge, and Sunspot. I left off Cyclops here because honestly, he's just there for a passive to get Forge going because he gets that turn meter whenever any X-Men allies die, and then Forge gets that 100% turn meter from Cyclops. Nightcrawler is an absolute no-brainer. He's incredible. We have him farmable soon as well in the Cosmic Crucible store, I believe. Forge was the War store, and then Sunspot was a hard node farm, I think. But these guys are absolutely nuts. I've had just Nightcrawler, Sunspot, and Gambit wipe an entire team because Sunspot stayed alive. The charges gave the extra energy, and then Nightcrawler and Gambit ulted, or Nightcrawler and Cyclops ulted, and they were deleted. It was over. They were done. It was incredible. Another plug-and-play character is Doom. I do think Doom needs to continue getting built because you're going to need him for Dark Dimension 7, but also for Cosmic Crucible. He is absolutely nuts. He's so good in Cosmic Crucible, and the bigger everybody else gets, he needs to get bigger so he's still able to take out those superior 6s with that Dr. Doom Super Scroll combo or that Doom APOC Undying combo. And he's going to need even more stats if he's in room number 4 because he's losing 25% of this health bar, which is about 600,000 health for me. You'll see I have him as a Skirmisher. I usually switch between Skirmisher and Raider depending on the matchup. But Doom, an absolute essential as well. And then lastly, we're going to talk about Void Knight and the Hive Mind team as a whole. So right now, obviously, there is a raid room, so Hive Mind is doing incredibly well. Hive Mind was also nuts last season because of the Superior 6 buffs that they got, because they counted as a Superior 6 member. Right now, Void Knight is going to be the only character that's going to last longer than the rest of the team. So Void Knight is the absolute safest build. But if you really want to build for this season as well, I would say the next character up would be Red Goblin because his damage is absolutely nuts. So it would probably be Void Knight, then Red Goblin, then like Venom and Carnage as kind of a tied for third, and then Gwenom would be on the bottom. Gwenom is a good character, but unfortunately, she's not the linchpin of the team like Void Knight is, and Red Goblin especially, because Red Goblin has that massive damage that comes out. So it's going to be interesting to see what lasts, obviously. This is going to be essentially what I have built. Obviously, you can see everything's level 100. This is my recommendation on what you guys should build because this is what's going to last in the Cosmic Crucible meta. Obviously, we're seeing Extreme last even without mutant rooms or anything like that. So they're doing great. Superior 6, like I said, Apex offense and defense team. Kestrel, great plug and play. The Mythics, duh. And then Kang and Titania are absolutely nuts in their on their respective teams. So that's going to be it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope this gave you guys a little bit of insight if you want to start taking Cosmic Crucible just a little bit more seriously, because it is the most fun game mode in my opinion. But until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, y'all.